Hello everybody, today is Saturday, January 24th. Welcome to the movies where I'm putting my 2 cents about movies. Now, so I haven't been around for a while, lots of stuff going on, I got lazy, didn't want to throw a party this month, I shaved my face, and anyway, so I've been watching a lot of movies, but I do want to review a bunch of movies that I watched before. So today, the topic of movies is Asian martial art movies. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, Iron Monkey, House of Flying Daggers, Hero, and Curse of the Golden Flower. Most of these I haven't watched recently. I've actually watched one of these recently, and I'll tell you which one it is when we get to it. Right, let's start with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. This was one of the first martial arts movies that kind of spawned this whole, popularity for this kind of movie out here in the United States. And this one came back out in 2000. Now, first time I watched this movie, I actually watched it at the movie theater, and it's obviously done in Chinese, but there were subtitles at the movie theater, but we came late and it was a large party, so we had to sit in the front row. You do not ever want to watch a subtitled movie in the front row of a theater, let me tell you. Anyway, so Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, I don't remember all the exact details. I remember that overall the movie is pretty much this martial arts action movie with some drama and a love story. And what I remember is there's this woman, she's kind of like a renegade as far as I remember. She steals some things, but overall I thought the movie itself was kind of long. It kind of sets the bar, but as we'll find out later, I ended up thinking about it in retrospect as not quite so good. It's kind of a long movie. The martial arts scenes were obviously very good, very well done. A lot of people did have the reservations about the jumping, flying, and floating stuff. But other than that, it was very powerful in the dramatic sense. Like, I know a lot of people who went, the guys really enjoyed the action stuff, and the girls really enjoyed the, the romantic and the dramatic aspect of it. Thinking about it in retrospect, I didn't think the story was really that strong. It wasn't really that moving, and I guess it was because of the position of the girl. She wasn't quite so, gung-ho and virtuous and all that fun stuff. She was kind of like on the opposite end of the spectrum. But, so that's Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Giving it a review now, it's kind of been, almost a decade. It's 2009, so needless to say, I'm going to say it was well done for what it is, but I didn't really enjoy it. I would say it's just an okay movie. If you're looking for a movie done in this style, there are a couple other ones I'd recommend. So, now let's talk about House of Flying Daggers. And this movie is visually amazing. There are a lot of scenes where you'll see lots of bamboo, lots of flying objects, either swords or arrows or bamboo sticks or whatever. It also has a strong love story as well, but not quite as, I would say, shallow as Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It wasn't as long, so they pretty much got to the point a lot quicker. I really like the pacing of this movie. Talk about a war and how they're related, and the rebellious army fighting against the Imperial Army. Almost sounds like Star Wars, but not quite. It takes place in ancient China, and overall I thought it was a very good movie. It kind of ended in a very, how should I describe this, bittersweet way. Maybe not quite what you want to see, but it definitely, works it out. Very well done, very good, thoroughly enjoyed. Definitely recommend House of Flying Daggers. Let's see, next movie I want to talk about is Iron Monkey. Now this movie isn't quite, it's done in the same style as these other movies, but doesn't have quite the same feel. How I equate Iron Monkey is kind of like a Chinese Robin Hood story. Basically, you get Iron Monkey, and he steals from the rich or, the government and gives to the poor. And it's basically trying to draw this illustration of how, basically the Robin Hood story. How, like, oh, hey, maybe the people with the money, they're not necessarily doing everything right, but, these poor people who can't help themselves, they need a lot of help, so he goes and decides to help them. And it's kind of like this, this legend in which the Iron Monkey helps, and, it's rumored, I believe, that this Iron Monkey was more or less like Wong Fei Hung, which is like this hero in Chinese, legend, or I mean, he was a real person, and he was a doctor, and he was a martial artist, but I think they sometimes exaggerate what he does, or anywho. But obviously, these are all movies, so artistic license. But Iron Monkey, I enjoyed it very much. More action-packed than the other ones. Story is a little bit more simplistic, but it's very entertaining nonetheless, because it's one of those stories that kind of crosses a lot of ethnical boundaries, because it seems like the Asians have a story like that, and then Europe had a story like that, with Robin Hood and all. So anyway, Iron Monkey, I thought it was very well done. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Visual effects are pretty good, and it's more of like an action movie than any of the other ones. So definitely recommend Iron Monkey. Next one I want to talk about is Hero. This is the big one that was in movie theaters here in the United States, starring Jet Li. But it's called Hero, and this, I think, was probably one of my favorite ones out of this set of movies, because it's a thriller, suspense, martial arts, drama movie, and it has like several plot twists. Basically, it starts out with an assassin, and he's going to kill, this king emperor, and what ends up happening is he gets into the king's chambers, without everybody knowing about it, and then all of a sudden, they break out into like flashbacks of storytelling, so that the king's trying to tell him the story of, stuff that happened. And what ends up happening is like there's plot twist, and then change plot, and then plot twist, and then the ending is like crazy amazing. Also, this movie is very visually appealing. I mean, most of these movies have a lot of scenes with different colors, bright colors nonetheless. A lot of scenic backdrops, like wide panning shots. So most of these are all very visually appealing. I want to say Iron Monkey was kind of dark, but that's okay. This movie, on the other hand, there was a lot of contrasting color, because there's, I think, 3 mainish kind of characters, and you get to hear, all their stories from maybe different perspectives. And it's almost kind of like a mystery putting it together. So definitely really enjoyed Hero. And when you see the ending, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe that that's what happened, or that's what, people are going to do, or that's what they did, So, Hero, definitely a good movie. Definitely thoroughly enjoyed. Great acting, great storytelling. I want to say this is a must-watch movie, so you have to watch Hero. The other ones, as much as I really like them all, for the most part, you don't necessarily have to watch them. So, definitely watch Hero. And then the last one I want to talk about today is Curse of the Golden Flower. Alright, so Curse of the Golden Flower. This, I heard, and I double-checked, is actually modeled after a old Chinese theatrical, production from way back when. I wasn't sure. I thought it was like maybe based off a book or something, but this is based off of a play. And it starts out with this, family. They seem all okay at first, but then as the story progresses, you find out that they're all very dysfunctional. King is trying to kill the queen. Queen is having like a half incestuous love affair with like the son that isn't hers. Then there's another younger brother who doesn't seem involved, and then there's the other son who's like older and in the military, and with the first wife, and it's just, there's a lot of ridiculous drama that just goes on in this dysfunctional royal family. And pretty much for the entire movie, I was actually most disappointed with this movie, because I expected a movie like all the other ones, like action-packed and stuff like that. It's very slow. It's mostly dramatic. There's like maybe 2 or 3 action scenes in the entire movie, and none of them are really that satisfying. Like maybe the end scene is probably the most satisfying, because there's the final epic battle, and you can't not have the final epic battle in a movie like this. But it's very, like, I honestly, when I saw this movie, Sigmund Freud in my mind came up like 3 times. I'm like, oh man, it's like crazy. And then Oedipus complex, stuff like that. It's really like in there. It's very deep as far as like drama and thought processes and dialogue and relationships. I'm not gonna lie, dialogue is very good. It's very well done. But it's not that entertaining. So Curse of the Golden Flower, I want to say it was just kind of, it's okay. I mean, it's good storytelling, good drama. Not really an action movie, not really a martial arts movie. So I actually wanted to give it a thumbs down, but I mean, if you really look at it, it's not you know, it's just I didn't like it. So yeah, House Flying Daggers I liked a lot. Hero, definitely my favorite one out of the bunch. Iron Monkey I liked a lot. And Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon I didn't really like so much, and this movie not so much. So anyway, hope you enjoyed. That was my review of a bunch of Asian martial arts movies. Anyway, have a good night and enjoy the movies.